Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. Currently walking around downtown Minneapolis. A little time away from the office this afternoon. On my way to do a quick video. We're here outside of Hennepin County Government Center. Building, Bella Tower, to our right, heading towards South 7th Street. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Minneapolis. There's a little bit of smoke from the wildfire fires to our north. Not wildflowers. Wildflowers don't bring smoke. Fires. But not as bad as it's been for the past few weeks. We are on 7th, walking towards Nicollet, Hennepin. Kelly's Pub there across the street. I believe that is either closing or just closed. Lots of storefronts closing and changing hands in Minneapolis. Here to take a momentary break, taking a look at the bakery. Last week, I think it was, I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday last week. I was in Rochester. And I was really enjoying the old Mayo Clinic, beautiful building in downtown Rochester. Rochester a handful of times. I've never spent much time downtown. I think I rode a Christmas trolley around downtown. The Holly trolley. Boya Dixon says, "Is this just viewing downtown Minneapolis?" Yeah, pretty much just getting outside, walking around, showing downtown Minneapolis to whoever wants to see it. Be it live today or watching back in the future. There's the newly renovated North Star Center. Brad Bell says, haha, I just left where you are walking right now. Beautiful day. Yeah, absolutely beautiful day here in downtown Minneapolis. Maboya says, very nice day. Very nice day, very nice. I live in uptown Minneapolis. Yeah, love uptown Minneapolis. Been meaning to do an update there along Hennepin. I haven't recorded anything in that area in about a year. Well, I did a couple bike rides, but those don't count. I have not recorded a walk in that area in about a year. So I'm gonna go show updates on Hennepin Avenue, all that stuff one of these days. There was just an article in the Star Tribune today. So they I think it was a week or two ago, they put out a call for submissions on the boundaries of uptown, which has been much debated over the years by people of Minnesota. And they just released the results of that today. And yeah, you can go to Star Tribune and check out where the people decided as a whole the boundaries of uptown are. Brad Bell says, Old Wells Fargo Tower to your right. Back here. Beautiful building, one of the nicest in downtown Minneapolis, in my opinion. Boy says, yes, come, I would love to see it. Just came across the channel. Hey, glad you found your way here. Yeah. Hey, said, but I'm subscribed and definitely will stay. Brad Bell says, lack of people in the street is definitely a problem. Yeah, so if there's going to be people out, there'd be more up here on Nicollet or Hennepin, or up there in the Skyways. But downtown does cater primarily to the office crowd. So not a ton of people walking around, not a ton of foot traffic exploring the streets. You know, a handful of people here and there, but what are you going to do? There's not a ton of activities downtown for people to just stroll and enjoy. I was talking to my friend Matt. We were looking for somewhere to meet up, and I was like, I've never had happy hour underneath a parking structure like that. I want to come here and have happy hour with him sometime and sit underneath there as the cars drive over us. But they do a nice job of making a little pocket down here.
It's never going to go away. But you and your
Holy cow, where is everybody? Yeah, my guess would be in their offices, or if they're not in their office, they're probably walking around a lake, out for a bike ride, enjoying the natural beauty of Minneapolis. I've come to terms with the fact that, in my opinion, people don't really come to Minneapolis to walk around downtown or walk around Nicollet Mall. I think when you come to Minneapolis, the best places to walk are going to be something like the Heritage Trail, which is over the Stone Arch Bridge and Hennepin Avenue Bridge, or walking around some of the different lakes, Nokomis, Harriet, Lake of the Isles, Bremacaska. Enjoying something like the outdoor recreation is, I think, what makes Minneapolis what it is. So it does not surprise me that there's not a ton of draw to walk around downtown Minneapolis. Boya says, what kind of camera are you using? So crispy, clear, and great quality. Hey, good to hear. I have a iPhone. I think it's a 15. And using I think it puts a logo on there, using streaming software called Prism. The iPhone quality does really good quality when I upload a video and then set it up as like a standalone. The live stream, I think the most you can get is like 1080 pixels, but with the other ones I'm able to upload, I think they're like 4K or 5K or something like that. So really crisp, really clear. Does a pretty decent job at night too. So for like a handheld camera, I think the performance of a phone like this is pretty phenomenal considering what audio and video equipment was like maybe 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Just the advancements in audio and camera and video technology have been incredible. So here is Nicollet Mall. Russ says it makes for insanely clean streets though. I believe that's in reference to the somewhat lack of people out. So this is Nicollet Mall, sort of the central street of downtown Minneapolis, once a retail shopping hub. I believe the city's long-term plan is to get rid of buses on here at some point and then completely pedestrianize it, but we will see. I'm not sure how high on their list of priorities that is, but it sounds like that's kind of set. One of the things I was thinking about doing today is trying to hop on one of the free Nicollet buses and see if we can ride across Nicollet on stream. Sen 4237 says hello from Woodbury. Hello in Woodbury. I had the joy of visiting Woodbury at one point to see the Gold Line. Around the time the Gold Line opened, I rode that out there to check it out. Had a nice time on that bus line. DDS Curtis is here. Hey DDS Curtis, good to see you again. Whosoever says, used to be a lot busier in Minneapolis before 2020. Yeah, so I mean, used to be a retail hub for the Midwest, right? You kind of have Chicago, which is like the go-to spot, or if you're visiting one place in the Midwest, and then I think second you have either Kansas City or Minneapolis. Now, people from like the cities outside of Minneapolis don't need to come to downtown Minneapolis for to do their shopping and do more online shopping, as well as having remote workers. And with both remote work and that move to more online shopping, I think it just kind of crushed the foot traffic around here. So hopefully in the future we can find a way to get more tourism to Minneapolis, or find a way to just be more creative with the storefronts here, have more cafes, more spots where people can sit, be seen, enjoy the place together, where right now it's a bit liminal. You're kind of just walking through here. Not a ton of spots to sit and just exist. Maybe PV Plaza up ahead. That's about it. Johnny S says, then again, people don't get off work until 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, it is midday, work day, middle of the work week, so a lot of the people that are downtown are going to be working. I think maybe one of these days I'll do a stream at like 4:35ish. Walk around here when people are getting off work, when a convention's getting out. There's a little bit more foot traffic, but really the place I see people in Minneapolis is the lakes, the river, the walking trails, the bike trails. People enjoying the outdoors. Sen says it will get busy once the work day is over. I don't know if there's a Lakers game tonight, but whenever there's a basketball game or concert or anything going on at Target Center, there tends to be more people out enjoying the amenities of downtown. Speaking previously about being in Rochester last Thursday, and I think they did a really good job of activating their downtown on Thursdays. I don't know much of what it's like on regular days, but that one, there's Tunes in the Plaza today, every Wednesday, 5 to 6 p.m. Today you have Greg Heriges. PV Plaza is the best parkour spot. Yeah, if I was making like a parkour video game like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but for parkour, that would be the space. Do all kinds of jumping around in there. Really is a beautiful fountain, beautiful plaza, lovely spot to sit. Just need like a coffee or drink cart or something right here. Sell some cocktails for people who want to sit down there. Coffee, whatever. Give people something to sip on. Maybe sell some of that legal marijuana in a can. THC. I think these streets right here at Caribou Coffee are the only coffee shop on Nicollet Mall with street-facing seats. Sat out here and had coffee with a friend a few months back. Johnny S says that's a nice spot. I believe in reference to PV Plaza back there. It's a beautiful spot. Russ Natalie says cannabis is legal in MN. Yes, they legalized THC, I don't know, a couple years back. Now they can sell canned beverages, the gummies. I believe those are available pretty much everywhere. You can go to liquor stores, all kinds of different spots, and they will have the weed gummies, even at like gift shops and stuff like that. THC drinks, gas stations maybe? I don't know. Do they sell it at gas stations? I can't tell you. And then I think they're working on the actual like leaf marijuana cannabis. They've just started opening up those locations over the last month or two. And then in the not too distant future, they will be available in the cities. It says we're waiting on a northbound bus for 3 minutes. It said one was coming, but it did not. When we first walked up, it said do. Maybe they meant don't. Newly renovated. Well, it was renovated, but it was out of commission for a while. They've got it back up and running again. Is it accurate? Yeah, just about. It's close. We'll see if the bus driver will let us record on here. Johnny S says, I enjoyed your sky walkway videos. It's cool how big those walkway systems are. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about putting together like a video, like top 5, top 10 places to walk in Minneapolis for if someone's visiting Minnesota or Minneapolis. Want some ideas? People love a good listicle type video, and I think including the Skyway in there is kind of essential. I don't love it. I don't think they're the most like beautiful places in the city, and I think there's a lot that could be done to improve them. But I think as a unique piece of Minnesota, they are something you got to check out. Oh, if we do hop on the bus here, I might not talk a bunch because I don't want to be that annoying person talking loudly on the bus, right? So we'll probably, if I can get on here, about them. Probably ride through the bus, but I probably won't say much on there because let the people riding the bus have their peace and quiet. Russ Natalie says, here in California, I don't know if it's California or Canada, I think California, you can't have cannabis for sale within a certain distance of a place with on-premise alcohol consumption. They don't want people getting crossfaded. Yeah, so here I think there are laws around the sale and consumption of it, to where if you go to a bar and you buy a beer or cocktail, I don't think that they're supposed to serve you cannabis for the rest of the night. So ideally, like, there are measures put in place to try to separate those two, just because of how much mixing those two can really affect people. We just legalized it last year. Yeah, just legalized it last year. A Viking stadium tour would be cool if possible. Let me reach out to the Vikings and see if they'll let me record in there. 10 Philippines. I've actually never ridden the Nicollet Mall bus before. Yeah. We're waiting on the 18, which is the free ride. Viking Stadium is a work of art. Yeah, it's a really nice stadium. I mean, the lighting there is really great. I think on like a winter day when it's negative 10 degrees outside and you see all the light coming in through there, especially if it's sunny. Get a bunch of Rowden fans in there. The sound echoes really nicely in there, so it's really loud for a football game, which I think is a great environment for sports. I went to a few concerts there. I saw Metallica there a couple times last year. And it was okay. Their performance was good. The fire and lights and everything were cool, but audio in there it's hard with that. With it's set up to echo and boom, and maybe not the best for a concert. Sen says, do you ever walk around St. Paul? Yeah, I've been meaning to get over there. I was hoping to do a downtown walk sometime soon. Hoping to do Summit Avenue. I have a couple of requests for biking videos in St. Paul, so I'll probably bike around there at some point too. Just trying to find the time to get over there on the right day. I think I was over there, what was it, maybe a month and a half ago. Walked around Selby Avenue, I think it was, or Central Avenue. Russ Natalie, just saw Metallica here. Rumors are they're going to play the Super Bowl halftime. Is that in Santa Clara again? I know last time, so I was living in San Francisco when that last Super Bowl was there, and they said they were going to play a halftime, or they wanted to play a halftime. And I don't remember who ended up playing, but it was not Metallica. And they played the night before at AT&T Park, and that was a fun concert. I went to that one. I think it's Oracle Park now. Ooh, a Sphere residency. All right, we're gonna hop on the free Nicollet Mall bus. sunboard, right?
Attention Metro Transit customers. Quarterly service changes will begin for some routes on Saturday, August 16th. Get details and view your updated schedules now at metrotransit.org.
Approaching 7th Street.
Excuse me, coming out.
Lady, go for
like hiking and walking around. But yeah, go check it out. This Coldplay and Johnny says the river and bike videos are cool. Amazing. I do have another one coming up here soon. Just need to get the chapter set up. Should have that hopefully later today.
Stop requested.
Alright, there's your Nicollet Mall bus ride. I think I made it 3 stops. I did not realize what time it was. I do have to get back to work there in a bit. We'll walk out there. Decent amount of people on there when I first got on, as it is a free bus. I think a lot of people got off to go to that the Target, which is like the grocery hub of downtown Minneapolis. There's not a ton of other options. Kind of makes sense. Green line on the left. Did just recently read that a lot of the blue line stations are going to be repaired next year and the year after that, so 2026, 2027. And then there's going to be some bus service replacing the trains for a bit. So I always like recording things that are out of the normal. I think, one, it's important to catalog and have an accurate representation of what a place was like at a given time in like a long form unspliced sense. So like full green line, blue line rides, which exist online. Other people have made those. But when they do the switch it over to bus service for a few months, I might have to make a video on there just to catalog that specific period of time. Johnny S says, I just recently watched your Rochester video. What did you think about Rochester? So I went down to Rochester last Thursday afternoon. Every Thursday they do an event called Downtown Thursdays or Thursdays Downtown. Either Minneapolis did Downtown Thursdays and last year, and this year Rochester does Thursdays Downtown. And this one, I think they did a great job with it. So you have this, it starts at 11:30 a.m. There is a street fair all day. You have food vendors, clothing vendors. There's alcohol on the streets. The musicians, all kinds of different stuff throughout the day. I think they had some of the different corporations giving stuff away. So a variety of different things. There was mini golf out there for kids to do and games. But it was fairly well attended, and I think by having it be that all-day event, there were a lot of people out. With our Minneapolis event, I think a lot of the downtown Thursday stuff they were doing last year was 11:30 to 1:30, so just trying to get people to come outside during their lunch break, which isn't going to draw as many people from all over, to where if you're in Rochester and you have Thursday free, you can just come hang out, listen to music, buy your beer, cocktail, THC, seltzer, whatever, and drink it out there and enjoy yourself. You know, I thought it was a really well executed event, and I thought downtown Rochester was pretty pleasant from my experience. So there was let's see, there was a lot of good tree coverage that I was really impressed by, and a decent amount of public seating. So one of the things that I think Minneapolis could work on is, which they are, I mean, you see some of these trees being planted around here, but some of the trees in Rochester were a little larger, have been living a little longer. They recently did that. I think it's called Peace Plaza, and I think they did a really good job on that one. And just lots of spots to sit and just exist in downtown Rochester, where in Minneapolis, I mean, you have this right here, but there's not a lot of just like seating with a table in front of it that's not at a business, to where it doesn't feel like people are supposed to congregate in downtown Minneapolis. It feels like you're supposed to come here, do what you do, go to your office, go to Target, go to Government Center, go to the court, and then go home. I think Rochester, at least the area on, I think it's called First, did a really good job of making it feel welcoming. But I was there on an event day, so it's not really fair to compare an event day downtown to a regular day in Minneapolis. So I'll have to go down when they're not doing anything and just see what I see on a regular day. But beautiful, well-maintained downtown, some really nice different buildings. I think it's the Keller Center, which is this like building opened about 2 years ago. Beautiful piece of architecture. I really like what they did there. I could see that being controversial in the area. That old Mayo Clinic building, absolutely gorgeous old Art Deco building. Really nice details on there. Yeah, it's a really nice change up, new place to walk. I think some of the more beautiful buildings in Minnesota, for sure. You can tell that there's a lot of money flowing through there with the medical industry, because everything seems to be pretty well maintained. I rode my bike around a bit, decent bike infrastructure. I think I uploaded a bike video from there the other day. Ooh, Peace Plaza, I believe, had heat sidewalks too. Yeah, Peace Plaza, it's a nice plaza, because it's sort of like how this one here, but it's got that fountain piece, public seating, but it's got a few like restaurants around it with doors open to the plaza itself. So you can go grab a taco, or you can go grab a meal from one of the other places and sit and enjoy that meal in the plaza, which I think a big part of what downtown Minneapolis lacks is those sort of spaces. There's a couple of them along Nicollet. You have like the local and things like that, but not a ton. Like, how nice would it be if there was just like a permanent coffee stand right here? Teddy says, hello, I'm at Northtown Rail Yard. Very nice. Johnny says, yeah, Mayo is the capital of Rochester. Only downside is taxes increase. You know, if you're paying taxes, hopefully you're getting a nice, pleasant place to live, good quality of life, good services. then it's worth it, right? I think all anybody wants out of their taxes is a return on that investment in themselves and an investment in their city. DDS Kurzer says, you're right, downtown doesn't give the feeling of stay and linger, but more do what you want and leave. I wonder if that's because people may think it's unsafe. Yeah, there's certainly this perception of unsafety online and in the media of downtown Minneapolis. And of course, as with any downtown area, there are unfortunately events that happen that feed that. But I have been making videos in downtown Minneapolis for 3-4 years now, and I can confirm from my lived experience it is largely safe down here. I think I've seen a few car accidents. There was one night that I was recording that I believe there was a fight that people got into, and then they drove their cars into each other, and unfortunately I think someone passed away from that, which is horrific. But by and large, my experience has been very pleasant downtown Minneapolis. I can't speak for everyone else and what it would be like if you came down here today, but the thing that feels most uncomfortable to me about downtown Minneapolis is how quiet it is at times. You know, it feels like right now it feels somewhat active. Like people were commenting earlier, where is everybody? But this is like a relatively active day in my opinion of downtown Minneapolis. I've been walking here since, I remember walking around in 2021 when if you saw 1-2 people on the streets, that was rare. So things have definitely improved, but change doesn't happen overnight. And we got to keep moving in the right direction. The city, county should collaborate with you and let you do a full tour of the Mayo building. Absolutely. I mean, any organizations that want to work with me, let me show their spot, would love to. And all about just sharing spaces with people who might want to see them, people who might want to go check them out another day, or, you know, people who may never have a chance to see them. There's someone somewhere in the world who has a deep interest in Minneapolis and Minnesota and in every city and maybe in some building and might never have a chance to get there, and if I can give them some sort of access to it, that's something I think is pretty cool. But I do need to get back to work, so thank you everybody for tuning in. Hopefully we can do another live stream next week. If not, I'll be at the State Fair and I'll be streaming there and recording there, so catch me eating some cheese curds and cheese curd tacos. But otherwise, take care, and I will hopefully catch you all soon.